This is the Journal of Elizabeth Goldsmith. I'm assuming that I should be the only one reading this, in which case I already know who I am and need no introductions. But even in the case where someone else happens upon this tome, they should still recognize that last name. Maybe that's more just hopes and dreams on my end. And I suppose that sort of mentality is why I've got to dedicate so much time to organising all this properly now. Must run in the family. I guess, in case anyone doesn't know, I'll give myself a little introduction anyway. Elizabeth Goldsmith might not mean too much just yet, but Goldsmith should mean everything. My thrice-great-grandfather, Franklin Levi Goldsmith, was the first man to chart the whole of Karralan, towns and all. If he was a softer-spoken man who got in a few less arguments, the Goldsmith model would still be the map everybody used. Instead, thanks to a bunch of uptight politicians that don't like it when people don't just assume they know what they're talking about, Karralanis now have to put up with the well-revered Leningrad model for their travels, and have for the last 150 years or so. It's amazing what people are willing to put up with when it's all that's available. Even a fraud like Peter Leningrad can make it when his product's the only one that's supported and endorsed. It only took one generation for people to accept running into lakes and rivers as a natural part of travel, and to plan their journeys with 4 days leniency either way, just because he couldn't be bothered to find and chart all of Karralan's bodies of water. The nitwit missed an entire island off the continent's north coast too. It's almost impressive how he couldn't even copy Franklin Levi's work properly. Well, none of that's a problem for me. Just because the Leningrad model's the only one you'll find for sale or on display anywhere doesn't mean I have to put up with travelling with it. I move around with the original, genuine Goldsmith model map, updated and notated by all my family that came before me, and you can actually chart a proper course with the thing. My mum was the last to carry on the lineage before me, but she's retired now that she's turned 50. That means no more sitting in the back of the cart plant spotting for Elizabeth Goldsmith here. The cart, the map, and the papers are all mine to work with. And I am going to bring our family name back into good repute, within my mother's lifetime. Oh, and within Jodie's lifetime too. Jodie's my horse. I've had her since I was 19, and now that Mum's retired, Keith's gone to keep her company. Keith was my mum's horse. I'm not too sure if I'll be able to fix our family reputation within that old boy's lifetime. The fact is, most places we go, people don't recognise our name anymore. We're just some strange nomadic travellers who sometimes take a trip up to the mountains to come back with a couple handfuls of Kruger's Rock, ready to trade them for enough food for our next journey out. Franklin Levi's been pretty much erased from all the books but ours. That man helped to build this country, and now he's nothing more to those people than a question in school about why Franklin's vine is called such. I'm getting a bit heated now, I'll admit. A lot of that's the anger I've been feeling most of my teenage years leading to now about what they did to our family name, but most of it's excitement. I've studied cartography, petrology, botany and zoology for most of the 23 years I've been alive now. And it's only in the last 4 that I've been travelling as an assistant for my mum. I'm finally ready to do what my whole life's been leading towards, and take this cart wherever I want. To update the spots on the map that haven't been looked at since my grandmother. To visit all those places my mother's got circled on this map. To answer the questions that she never got to. And to make our name known again and get our far superior map back into the public use. I'm less looking forward to sorting through all of these piles of books and notes that my family never seemed to organise, but if I'm going to provide the complete account of this continent that I want to, then it's something I'm going to have to do. Slowly. Over a long period of time. I can't get ahead of myself. First things first, I should take a trip up to Root Ridge to find some folk that'll travel with me for my first expedition. I'm thinking I'll just play it safe and take a trip up to the Malkinot Hills for my first go around, to make sure I've got the hang of things and collect a bit of extra cash to boot. I suppose I've got to get out of the back of the cart and drive the horses up to Root Ridge now, then. I might not make it in one day from here, so the next journal entry before I've arrived could just be me sorting through these stacks of notes and paper from the 5 generations before me. And as much of a pain as that'll be, it'll be nice to read my grandmother's voice from the pages, since I never got to meet her and all. I'm just burning daylight now. I'm gonna go be excited up in the driver's seat, leading Jodie to our next campsite.